some of the stories that continue to make rounds elsewhere, right away from the region. And then later on, I will be telling you also really what is happening at the international level. But in the second hour, I want to assure you that we shall be joined by these guests, and they will be in with us up to 9 o'clock. And for now, we need to look at what is happening yesterday. We did see President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, coming out to fire all the officials that is under the top officials, that is from the Kampala Capital City Authority. That is where we did see starting up with the executive director who got fired. Following the incident that happened at Chitezi, is it finally justice for them? This is another story that somebody out there may be interested in understanding. But I want to assure you that yesterday the president did come out to fire most of the top officials that is working with, who have been working with the Kampala Capital City Authority, where the president also had also dealt hand. That is also his political wing at the Kampala Capital City Authority. Remember, these appointments have also been done by his office, but now we are seeing the sacking of the executive director, that is Dorothy Saka, and her deputy David Luyimbazi. And not only that, we also did see many officials also really as well as being axed in there. And besides the sack, Mr. Museveni also ordered the Criminal Investigation Department and other crimes also management agencies to thoroughly investigate the matter to find out what exactly went on wrong at the Chitezi site, where about 30 people died and many others also really went missing in there. And that is where we did see the garbage collapsing, causing havoc in that area where garbage from Kampala, Wakiso, and many surrounding areas had been dumped, also causing havoc in the month of August in there. And the incident that happened at around 11th of August left many people solely wailing in there. Now, in the wake of the tragedy, several officials traded blames, and where we did see many other people attacking each other, where most of the officials from Kampala Capital City Authority were left with nothing but the blame of them neglecting what was happening in there. And now, should we say, justice finally has been served to the people of Chitezi, who innocently lost their dear ones and also lost lives in there? This is the question also we may be asking right now. And as the viewer, you can still share your thoughts and share opinions, if at all what President did would actually maybe bring justice, or maybe helping to avoid such bad occurrences in the future in there. Because if you look at the Chitezi incident, many people have been saying that this incident would have actually been avoided, but officials didn't take the warnings seriously, and they never minded of how this event may be unfolding. And what unfolded was what we did see, where many people lost their dear ones also in there. And update, people have been left suffering, with many others calling for help from government today. And that means we are seeing very many people still crying. Just a few days ago, we had stories of how many learners have been left stranded because their parents died. And they are finding it very difficult to return back to school, and that is where we did see well-wishers running out to the aid of some. But others still remained in there. That means we need to ensure that what happened in Chitezi does not happen maybe in other parts. And that should go as a warning to the rest of the cities and the local governments to also really pick a leaf from. Because if you look at what happened in Kampala, it may not necessarily mean that it's only going to happen in Kampala. If we take the warnings also lightly, it may also really happen in our local governments, in our various cities, in our various districts. It means people must be able to learn lessons from what exactly happened in Chitezi. And really, I want to support what the president did, so that also really the other officials in that district also really can maybe take such warnings seriously whenever they are also receiving it there. Now, that's where we did see Ms. Saka refusing to also carry the blame squarely, and insisted that she would not also resign despite several calls to do so, because many people had come out to also ask her to resign, where she never also had. And what exactly happened yesterday was President's message, where we didn't see the presidential press unit also coming out to announce that the officials had been axed, meaning they will not be also really serving Kampala Capital City Authority anymore. And on Tuesday we did see that. However, President Museveni also exercised the constitutional authority under Article 172, subsection 1B of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, where he also really went on to dismiss these officials of taking the Chitezi warnings lightly. And along also with the political heads, where Museveni also rallied Mr. Daniel Okello, the Director of Public Health, of his duties. That means he was relieved of his duties. He has officially already been left to go. And that means these officials with Kampala Capital City Authority are now jobless over what they did also maybe in Stezi. But the question remains, is it right for the president to sack these officials? Or what needed to be done to make sure that such occurrences do not also proceed to go on? Because one would think that what happened in Stezi is actually maybe a menace, or what exactly maybe happened in there really sends a message that most local governments should be able to really pick a lesson when it comes to issues of garbage management. Because if you really interact with these leaders, you realize that the issue of garbage management is indeed a great concern, where many people have also really as well echoed a number of issues when it comes to managing garbage locally and domestically. That's where we're seeing a lot of challenges today emerging. But how can we ensure that the issues of garbage management is given a priority? Recently, I was interacting with one of the former mayors of our municipality, and he actually told me that garbage management is the biggest and one of the most difficult activities a city and a district can be able to undertake, because each and every time people are generating this garbage from their homes, and he actually called for one thing, and that's where the families can be able to sort of support the officials who are to also undertake the issues of garbage management seriously. They need to learn one lesson from that. First of all, they must sort this garbage right away from the homes, because if at all the garbage is not sorted away from home, then it is going to be giving a difficult time. Look at what's happening within the rural district dumping site. A lot of issues going to arise from there. If it is not the officials at the facility complaining, then you're going to be seeing those who are transporting this garbage right away from the places where they're being transported to the final dumping site. They will always complain that the road is not good, the equipment is not there, we are lacking masks, we are lacking gloves. These are issues that also really I feel the leaders needed to also give keen attention to, because if you look at the issues of garbage management, it is not a one-man show. Me and you have a duty to play when it comes to collecting the garbage. But many of the times, we think it is the leaders. Quite embarrassing to oversee the issues of garbage management. Yes, that's a different scenario from what happened in Stezi, because Stezi is a dumping site. It's actually where garbage is being collected from the other areas and being taken to there so that it can be also maybe destroyed in there. Because if you look at garbage, really sometimes with the rains, I really want to say I do understand that these people are going through a lot. Because imagine burning garbage and the garbage is not dried. It means there's a lot that we'll be calling for. But that means we must sort the garbage right away from our homes. If we have the capacity to burn, let's burn the garbage from our homes. So that solely would not leave the burden of collecting the garbage to the local governments, to the officials and city leaders and the district leaders at large. It means that is where we are going to be helpful when it comes to issues of garbage management. Because garbage management today remains a great concern to most cities and most districts. It means we as individuals, as people who live in these local governments, we must therefore support the city leaders and district leaders when it comes to garbage management in it. Now, Engineer Andrew Chitaka had steered the capital city interim capacity following Ms. Musisi's departure, but Mr. Museveni also really overlooked him when he needed a substantive leader, and that is where we are seeing these officials from Kampala Capital City Authority now being relieved of their duties, and that is where we are going to be leaving the discussion aside. But then the question I want to ask this morning is it right for President Museveni to go on sacking these leaders? Is it enough? That is where we are going to be posing with that discussion. And leaving that story aside, remember recently Norbert Mao, the Minister for Constitution and Justice Affairs, also really was presenting what we call electoral reforms ahead of 26 general elections. He made a lot of requirements which many people also really did not also really go on well. Among the also really issues that included that's on the amendment bill is to have the members of parliament, also the women representatives, to serve only for 2 terms. And then the members of parliament be the ones to vote for president, and many others also really, which many people did not also really look very well in there. Now the political parties in Uganda have poked holes, that is in the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs electoral reforms. That is also where we're seeing the bill that's of 2024, which seeks to shift from presidentialism to parliamentarism, also where we shall see that the powers of jamming the president be given entirely to the members of parliament. What do you think about that? That's where we're seeing many people today echoing out their concern, and many people speaking out when it comes to this issue. And by press time, Norbert Mao was expected to table the Constitutional Amendment Bill of 2004 in Parliament last day, and that's also where it is expected to also touch reforms on electoral matters and electionalism in there. But now many people have also as well as echoed their issues when it comes to this issue, and that's also where I will be expecting the officials from Patriotic League of Uganda who are already with us, who will be joining us in the next hour, to also really share their thoughts and opinions when it comes to this issue. Is it right for these reforms to be presented? That's already before cabinet in there. And later in Parliament, we'll be also in position to debate about this. First of all, one of the reforms, and this demand is to have the members of Parliament be the ones to vote and decide the president of this nation. That is one. Then secondly, the women representatives, let's say the women MPs, to only serve for a period of 2 terms. Is it right? That is also really where I will be expecting them to also really ask and also answer to those questions, because in the next hour we are going to be entirely joined by officials from PLU who will be telling us what next for them, since their president said 2026 he won't be appearing on the ballot. Because many had been anticipating that we will be on ballot come 2026. Are they worried? Are they happy about it? Did they expect this? Those are the questions they will be answering in the next hour. But we get move on with the show. Yesterday, I was able to also move to some of these transport and bus companies who have been also really changed routes for now, where they have been asked to use alternative route that is via Merchant Falls National Park. But many have expressed dismay when it comes to this issue, because they're saying the route via Merchant Falls has become longer, and now they're encountering losses and they have not increased prices. Because initially, from Kampala to Arua, using the Karuma route, which is a bit shorter, could cost 50,000 for many of them, but now it has actually become longer. And at Masindi Port, we are seeing long queues where people have to wait for longer hours to have also themselves be crossed over the ferry. If you look at that ferry that's also really at Masindi Port, you realize that many times people who come from Bulisa, people who come from Hoima, people who come from Masindi, have to all use that route to cross. And when it crosses, it has to first of all wait for a certain hour, where it has to wait for whoever is to come that side and then cross. Once the cross is here, it takes longer, and a ferry, unlike buses or maybe aeroplanes, moves at a slow pace. That is where they have to wait for longer period of time. It means many people are today waiting for longer hours. But in Arua City, the transporters are saying, if at all the government does not work on the Karuma Bridge within the stipulated, at least required 3 months period, what will follow is that they will increase the prices, because fuel prices have remained high, and the prices that is to go to their various destinations have remained the same. Should they consider increasing on the fares? That is, let's say, maybe from Arua to Kampala. Is it right for them to increase on the prices? That is where you will be also sharing your thoughts, share your opinions. I will be in position to still go through some of those. And that is where I will be also leaving that story aside. But that's where we are going to be following up on the discussion. But I can assure you, the people who are traveling to Kampala are now waiting for longer queues and longer hours so to have themselves crossed. That is the Karuma Bridge in there. They have to endure. And that's where we're seeing that following the closure of the Karuma Bridge in there. Now travelers are being forced to endure long queues, that is at Masindi Port in western Uganda, as they jostle to carry ferries to that's Kampala's capital city, following the total closure of the Karuma Bridge in there. Now the situation has been exacerbated by the recent flooding that's at the Nakasongola-Zengebe Road, which is one of the alternative routes, which is solely being recommended by Ministry of Works and Transport after the total closure of the Karuma Bridge. Doris Chris Ongom, the Director of National Chamber of Commerce and Industries for Lango, said the flooding has made also really difficult, disrupting the chain and affecting timely delivery of goods and services. That is for the people of northern Uganda. And that's one thing we are seeing, because if you look at the Karuma Bridge, this had actually been a connecting point for northern Uganda, because whether you like it or not, there is no way you are going to be using Karuma and you do not cross northern Uganda, because this is the route that connects, first of all, to Lango sub-region. There's a direct connection to West Nile sub-region, and actually sub-region, not forgetting Karamoja, because still within this route can still be able to connect that is to Karamoja sub-region through districts of BIM. That is where we have been seeing that route actually connecting very many people and many other persons who have also been using that route. But today, they have been forced to use alternative route. For those from Lango sub-region, the Tirinyi Mbale road is what they have been using for now, via Soroti in there. And then for those coming from West Nile sub-region, the alternative route is actually via the Merchant Falls National Park, where people are taking now more than a day to actually cross and also reach their destinations in there. And that is where, for you who is planning to travel, you must be prepared for these changes, so that solely once you sleep on the road, do not cry, do not lament, and do not complain. These are changes that have come up with also the changes also on the Karuma Bridge yesterday. We were able to solely see officials from UNRA coming out to say that they are going to be working on this road to make the bridge stronger. And remember, this bridge has been a death trap. The minister, that is for Works and Transport, recently came out to say that they are going to be making the bridge at least to be stronger. So that's already once you plank on the bridge, if you knock the guardrails, you do not plank the river. You can be also knocked to fall back on the road, and that is why they want to make the bridge at least stronger. But the bridge has been a weak also point where we have seen vehicles planking. Once they lose control, we hope the works will be done within at least the 3 months. The officials from UNRA are saying that is also according to the call we are receiving also from most motorists and most drivers who have also called upon government to ensure that the works on this bridge can be done within this period. And that's where we are going to be also leaving a discussion in relation to Karuma side. Now let's look at also what's happening elsewhere. Lukwago accuses EC of deliberate obstruction party registration is another story that we're seeing, where the leadership of the Forum for Democratic Change, who have now crossed, that is to Katonga, have also visited the Electoral Commission office, that's in Namongo, also demanding registration forms to begin the process of registering their new political party, that is the People's Front for Freedom, which is abbreviated as the PFF, another political party emerging. That is one thing also which we are seeing. And are we expecting the Patriotic League of Uganda to transition into a political party anytime from now? The officials who are waiting will be also answering to that later on. Another faction, that's also the Katonga faction, had also written, that's the Electoral Commission on 16th of September, requesting registration also despite ongoing disagreements. However, the EC did not respond, prompting also the visit for the officials who have also now visited the EC offices, demanding why their registration is taking longer. And according to officials who recently also came out, that the EC is actually doing this deliberately to have also their efforts of registering this political party be thrown away in there. That is one thing we have seen. The officials under Katonga faction, led by Arias Lukwago, Kiza Besigye, and Ibrahim Semujunganda, trying to solely have their new political party registered in there, and that will be known as the PFF. Meaning, 2026, we are likely to have very many political parties, and with others still trying to solely have themselves registered, because if you look at, according to EC, there are already many political parties who have presented their bid to have themselves registered as political parties ahead of 2026, but we are going to be following up. Shall we be seeing the PLU appear as a political party, given the fact that their president has actually said he will not be appearing on the ballot come 2026? Or we shall have to wait for 2031 to also have the PLU now be officially as a political party. And that's one thing we did see also happening in the camp of the PFF, where there's a rising frustration because EC is taking longer to have their political party registered in there. Now the acting party president, Mr. Arias Lukwago, also accompanied by other officials, met the EC deputy spokesperson, that's Mr. Paul Bokenya, who informed them that also that the senior leaders were unavailable by press time in there. That's something we did see leading to frustration. By the absence of the responsive officers, the group pressed Mr. Bukenya to also find out and also find clear reasons as to why EC is taking longer to have their political party be registered in there. Now, speaking to journalists after the encounter, Mr. Lukwago expressed his disappointment with the EC's delay, stating that for us, we have also not also being out of time. We are working within the time to also have our political party registered in there. But what did EC say? And recently on September 4th of this month, we did see the EC also decline to reserve the Katonga faction's party name, color, and also the slogan in there. And that is that's also one thing we did see their proposals being deferred by the EC also really for being also really presenting the light blue, which also the EC did not say was not right in there. Now, Issue Secretary Leonard Mulekwa informed that the PFF also the promoters had also that had the name of color closely also resembling that's also of the FDC Nigerian block in there. And that's why maybe the party slogan, which was proposed, we are being also deferred in there. But what do we expect? Shall we expect also justice for this group that is trying to have their political party be registered? Because if you look at 2006, we are counting down to 15 months where we shall be seeing Uganda go into the next phase. But are we ready for all that? These are the questions somebody out there may be asking, because if you look at 2026 elections, the time is almost up. That is where we're expecting these political parties to be restructuring ahead of that period, and that is why maybe this group that is of the PFF is trying to make sure that they have the political party registered before that time in there. But are we ready for that? As a country, as a nation, are we ready for all this? Somebody was asking yesterday, as West Nile sub-region, why don't we have our own political party? Maybe started by also people from, maybe from leaders from this region. That is exactly something. So somebody was able to ask me yesterday, but we are saying it is entirely interest. Maybe the people are not interested, but we are saying many political parties are rising, and we are still expecting more to come ahead of 2006, where we shall be seeing many political parties maybe vying for presidential positions, parliamentary positions, council positions, and all that will be happening ahead of 2026. But for now, the ones that are already registered, we are seeing them already doing mass mobilization, where recently National Unity Platform Party, the biggest opposition group in Uganda today, has been in Bunyoro sub-region. We are able to see UPC combing also the Lama sub-region and the entire country. We have also seen Forum for Democratic Change recently also traversing the entire country, launching their mass registration campaign, where they have been also able to also bring their leaders closer. And that is one thing which we have been following up on, and we hope the 15 months are not also really very few, because it may be too late for maybe the other opposition groups that are trying to also have themselves registered. But we're saying the time is still there. If you look at 15 months, usually the last minute people, usually there's a group that calls themselves the last minute group, who always love to do their things at the last minute. We hope also really they can still be able to succeed with also the registration of their political party. We're wishing them the very best. And we hope by 2026, we are going to be seeing all these political parties being vibrant. And that is where we are going to be following up on that when it comes to the issue here. And now to summarize this hour, let's look at what's happening elsewhere, away from this story that we are discussing about. If you look at this, we are still seeing very many stories happening and very many issues slowly coming up, where also on the monitor we are seeing a 3-year-old boy also drowning. That's also in the Waragi Lagoon. Very quite sad and also difficult and embarrassing at the same time, where we're seeing a 3-year-old boy drowning also in estimated 40 feet deep. That's also in Sophia B village. In Busia Town Council, that's also in Busia district, sorry, in there, where we did see Samson Nyongesa met his death after reportedly also stepped on a weekend cover. That's only where we did see also the Waragi being brewed in there. Now, Siraj Muhammad, a resident that's also of the area on September also said we had also call for help, but that was in vain. What exactly happened is that we lost the life of this young person who drowned in a Waragi, also distilling hub in there. But we are saying for those who are also brewing this local, maybe Waragi, let's ensure that there's security in these areas, because we are talking about, yes, we're talking about earning money, and also the demand is usually high, but we're saying also mind about the life and also the safety of the activity that you are undertaking right now. Because look at a young boy who is also drowning in a Waragi lagoon, then that's quite difficult, because usually the place is hot, and Waragi, just have a feeling how you drink it. If somebody drowns with it, just imagine that kind of death. I must say, this is one of the most difficult deaths one can be able to also meet in there, because look at Waragi. For those who take Waragi, I do not take Waragi, but in most cases when you interact with them, and even look at them, you see how they are also trying to swallow. It is usually something which I must say seems to be bitter. Now imagine somebody drowning. I must say this is one of the most difficult deaths one can be able to meet. That's why we also really want to extend our condolences with the family of this young man, and we pray for his soul to rest in eternal peace. And this should be able to go as a warning and also really as a reminder for those who are into this business. Let's mind of the environment. Let's mind of the safety of the young people who are also really residing in these areas. So that's why we would not lose them. Because if you are seeing such activities happening, then we are likely to see many more deaths happening. Yes, in our areas, we see people brewing this local brew. In most of the areas, you move to Madioko, you move to Terego, you move to Maracha, you move to Yumbe, you will realize that there are certain areas where this waragi is being brewed. Look at Denguli, Kwete. This is where we are seeing people solely making them. But we're saying, much as we need to empower the women, much as the women who are doing this are earning money for themselves, but we're saying, let's mind of the safety and the livelihood of the young people who are also moving in these places, because it is not good to lose a young person as a result of such activities. Waragi is quite bitter. Meeting that kind of death is really quite difficult, and that's where we're going to be summarizing that discussion. With also that story in there, where in the second hour, we are going to be joined by officials from Patriotic League of Uganda, who are already with us, who will be telling us what next for them in their camp following the pronouncement of their leader, that is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who actually made it clear that come 2026 he won't be on the ballot as anticipated, where many people were actually anticipating to have him on the ballot. But for now, we are also saying he is not going to be on the ballot. He actually endorsed the president. What also that means is what they will be explaining to us. The endorsement of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, which actually many people took as treason, most of those who are with the opposition groups saying that that is treason, because as a serving general, you are supposed to be non-partisan. And he actually said he is endorsing the president. What does that mean to them? And that's where we are going to be pausing with the discussions. And later on, they will be joining us. For now, we are taking a short commercial break. This is the KOKOLIRIKO live show on West Nile TV that starts your ways every Mondays to Fridays, right from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, where we delve in issues related to current affairs. We discuss politics, we discuss social and economic aspects. All that is to make you empowered. And that is where, as the viewer, as one person is planning to go to work, we are saying the sun is almost up. We must make sure we go to work amidst the morning, maybe drizzles and morning rain. I must say that is actually a blessing in disguise for you who is still home, trying to also be on that bed. Wake up and move to your different places of hustle, because the morning blessings have already been showered. We must make sure that we go out there, hustle for whatever we want to solely get in there. For now, we are taking a short commercial break. My name is Sarish Majid, and up next, we shall be joined by officials from Patriotic League of Uganda, where we shall be joined by the youth coordinator for West Nile Sub-Region and the mobilizer of the Patriotic League of Uganda, who will be telling us what next for them. We take a short commercial break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium, Channel 259 and Channel 246. Starting this August 15th. Subscribe to Star Times Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. Star Times Football and limited passion. West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region. Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium, Channel 259 and Channel 246. Starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and Limited Passion. West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region. Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium, Channel 259 and Channel 246. Starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and Limited Passion. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. We are 10 minutes into our second hour of the show, and now being joined by officials from Patriotic League of Uganda. With me this morning, I do have Geria Dennis. He is the youth coordinator for West Nile Sub-Region under the Patriotic League of Uganda, as well as I do have also Oria Ronald. He is a mobilizer and a promoter of the Patriotic League of Uganda within West Nile Sub-Region. I want to take this honor to welcome you on board, starting with Geria. Geria, you're most welcome.
Thanks a lot.
And for many who do not know Geria, he is one person who also calls himself as MK Yanga. Why that name? Before we delve into the discussion.
Good morning, everyone. My name is called Geria Dennis, aka MK Yanga. MK Yanga, M is Muhozi. K stands for Kainerugaba. So, Muhozi, Kainerugaba, the young one, or the short one.
Okay.
Yeah.
For West Nile Sub-Region. Okay, that is
for West Nile Sub-Region, but it's for the whole country.
Anyway.
It's because I'm the only MK Yanga.
Anyway, thank you so much for making it through the show. I also do have Oria Ronald. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. This is an amazing place.
Okay.
It's just an honor to be here.
And,
so grateful.
And for those not know Oria Moses, Oria is a mobilizer and a promoter of Patriotic League of Uganda. Yes. And before we get to delve in that discussion, yesterday we did see General His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni firing most of the top officials, that is from Kampala Capital City Authority, over the issue that happened in Tezi, where lives were lost. Maybe could you first share your thoughts and opinions on that issue? Was it right? Before we get to have the PLU discussion.
Thanks a lot. The decision taken by General Museveni, it's the right decision. It's what PLU has been advocating for. One of our ideologies is to fight corruption as well. Everyone knows that. So, taking this one recently, General tweeted about Muse fighting corruption and removing the rotten seeds. And this is where it has started now.
Okay.
You have now seen it is action. It's now no more speaking. It's action. We really appreciate, as the PLU, we really appreciate what General Museveni is doing.
Okay.
Yes.
I also do have Oria. Your thoughts and opinions on this matter?
For me, what President Museveni did was the right thing. If someone is taking their positions for granted, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, it's proper that they leave those positions for people who are up to the task.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it, in other words, is it enough for these people to be fired? Is it enough?
Absolutely. If you're not taking your responsibilities seriously, why should they give you those positions? Why should they leave you there?
Okay.
Yes. So it was a good decision, and I'm quite sure that so many more of these people are going to be removed. When you're taking your positions for granted, just prepare to leave those positions. Okay,
that is now where we need to hold and start off with our discussions. What brings us here this morning? Recently, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the leader of the Patriotic League of Uganda, what started with the birthday in 2022, growing to also rise to the level of many thought would be transitioned into a political party, and maybe, or maybe not, to the disappointment of the Patriotic League of Uganda promoters, of whom I do have two officials with me this morning. Was it a surprise? Did they expect that? Oh, they expected that. And what next for them, since their leader has dropped the aspirations for 2026 elections in there? And I would be starting with Geria. Did you expect this? And what next from you?
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that question. First of all, in the first place, what people need to know is Patriotic League of Uganda is a civic organization. And we're going to continue with what we have been doing. Our ideologies are clear, and people know that, and we have been advocating and preaching it on ground. So what is the way forward? That's what you asked. The way forward is we continue to preach what we have been preaching. And we continue to tell the people what PLU is all about. That's what we continue to do. And what you need to know is, General, it's not about if, it's about when General will also be the president of the country.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you expect that message where he instead endorsed the father? Did you expect that? Because many people are thinking, and we are now worrying, how can we have the two be on the same ballot? Because you can hardly separate the two. There's a direct connection between the two. Did you expect this?
Now, what we need to know is PLU, Patriotic League of Uganda, is aligned to NRM.
Okay.
So NRM is our party. Since we are not a party, there are things we disagree with the NRM. But the General coming out, it's what we expected.
Okay.
Because we have a slogan, Mose now, MK next.
Okay.
So you cannot be. It's all about when and not if General will be the president. But we will be here, and we will really mobilize for the president, and
Okay.
that's what we are going to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Usually the slogan has been Muse now, MK next, meaning 2026 is not that period where we shall be having the next to come.
Yes.
So from you, maybe how is that going to be affecting your activities? Because as PLU, I must say, one observation is that you have been able to grow and rise within the shortest period of time to what has become maybe a pressure group, because many people think PLU is a pressure group because it's not a political party. It's just a group. So how is this likely to affect your activities at the grassroots? And how did you feel when Museveni came out to say that he won't be aspiring in 2006 now? How did people feel? And how did you really take that message? Did you take it lightly? Did you feel excited about it? Because unlike PLU, we are not seeing everybody being a member also really of NRM alone. We have people who are from NUP, who are under PLU. We have FDC members who are with NUP. We have NRM with NUP. We have independents with NUP.
Yes.
How is it likely to affect you when it comes to 2006? And how do people feel?
First of all, we felt devastated because we expected General Muhoozi to be able to now take the mantle of leadership from his father, President Museveni, by 2026. But when he tweeted and said he is not going to be on the ballot in 2026, we were devastated. But you know, they usually say it is better to be prepared and have no opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. We are very prepared from the start. When we started the movement, when we started to advocate for Museveni's presidency, what we had in mind was the hope that Uganda can finally have a peaceful transition. And I think that thought has not left us. Our belief is still that Uganda is going to have peaceful transition through General Muhoozi. Now, his tweet that he's not going to be on the ballot in 2026 came at a time we did not expect. We thought he was going to be the next the president after immediately in 2026. But nevertheless, we are not relenting. Like Dennis has said, before then we have been mobilizing, we have been doing activities. By the you know, PhD has come like a unifying factor. Number one, when PLU started, just as you said, there are so many people who are not members of the National Resistance Movement who are in PLU. They came because of what PLU was advocating for. Let me tell you, the opposition, there are things that the opposition is advocating for, and PLU offers those things that the PLU is advocating for.
Okay.
Okay? The opposition is crying for peaceful, but the opposition is crying for the issues of corruption in our country. And PLU has been advocating for corruption-free Uganda. And I think PLU, as a civic organization, will continue. We're going to continue to fight for corruption. We're going to continue to encourage the local people to participate in government programs. We're going to continue to ensure that our country is safe. We're going to continue to ensure that we're going to continue to advocate for good governance in our country. These the issues that the firing of the ED of Kampala. I think some people might not know, but maybe you remember recently the general also tweeted that some of these corrupt people, some of these bad leaders, we're going to, President Museveni is going to get rid of them. And we have started seeing. So these are the ideals of PLU we are advocating for, and I can assure you, by the time President General Muhoozi is going to become the president of Uganda, Uganda will be the best country that anyone would want to live in.
Okay.
So I can assure you, what the Uganda that we envision is a country that all of us are going to be proud of.
Okay.
Yes.
So somebody may be able to ask, according to your own thoughts, does General Muhoozi have the powers and have maybe the abilities like his father has? Do you think he is the right leader to replace the father? Does he have the courage? Does he have the abilities his father is possessing?
Let me tell you, General Muhoozi is an administrator. Some people complain that this man is not an orator. He cannot speak well in public. But you know, leadership is not all about talking in public. You can have all these people who talk on. They talk good things. You know, they are orators. They talk, but you know.
Okay.
I mean, leadership is not all about talking. You can talk, but your actions, if your actions do not align with what the country requires,
okay,
then your talks are useless.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that General Muhoozi is an administrator. You remember when he was appointed the CDF, there are a lot of things that he has been able to achieve within a very short while. Recently, remember the president was saying that there used to be some things called airtime in the army. And those airtimes, General translated them into buildings, you know. General translated those airtimes into you know, those people who are living in you know, deplorable conditions, you know, the army. And yes, and he has been able to put up office spaces. He has been able to construct offices for the army, you know. So the things that General has been able to achieve in a very short while, there are things that the army has not been able to achieve since the President Museveni took power.
So meaning he has their capabilities?
Too much.
Okay.
And by the way, General Muhoozi is a leader that if Ugandans give the opportunity to, Uganda will start to compete with countries like Singapore.
Okay.
I can assure you.
That is one thing, and that's where we'll be engaging Geria now. Still on the same question. Is your boss having the capacity? Does he have the abilities to steer Uganda maybe better than the father? Does he have the abilities? Because many people are saying he has been in the military. He has not been serving the public, maybe not every public, but he has been serving entirely in the military. So does he have the capacity to this time round steer the political wing of this country?
You have put the question wrongly, telling me whether he's better than the father. You see, let's appreciate what the president has done and what he's still doing. That is the first thing we need to know.
That is, my question was clear. Does he have the capacity like the father, or perhaps can he perform better than his father? That's the question I was able to front to you.
Now, what you need to know is he's going to pick off where the father will live.
Okay.
So, what we know is, I quote you saying, you're saying that we are a pressure group. But let me tell you a brief history about PLU. PLU started as MK Project. From MK Project, there were these different groups. We had the MK Army, the team chairman, original MK Army, Agoji, and groups. So those were pressure groups.
Okay.
And now MK integrated all these groups together as MK Movement.
What is the movement all about?
MK movement was a pressure group.
Okay.
It was a pressure group.
Okay.
So as you put in.
So it is not wrong for me to call it a pressure group.
No, MK movement was a
Okay.
pressure group. But now from MK movement,
Patriotic League of Uganda.
it is now Patriotic League of Uganda, which
Okay.
is a what? A civic
Organizations.
organization.
Okay.
So right now we're a civic organization and we have our ideologies.
Correct.
Yes. So going to the capability of General MK, as my brother, a foot soldier, a strong one from Arua City, put forward that General has organized. If you look at General, he has organized the army. Recently, I had a conversation with one of the army guys. The man is like, he saw me putting on a MK shirt. Then he came to me like, hey, thank you for the good work. Continue doing this. We love General MK. He has come in, he has changed a lot of things as CDF. That alone gave me a lot of reasons for me to like move forward to advocate for PLU and to advocate for General for the next. Actually, Muse now MK next is coming.
Okay.
And the thing is,
Meaning you are not yet giving up. You are not losing the dream.
well, it's Muse now MK next. It
Okay.
doesn't matter when MK will come, but that is our dream. You see, we are going to be there in the promised land, and the promised land is coming. And he has told us we should go this way. He's our driver. If he drives us to Manibe,
You will
we're
still
ready
go.
to drive.
Okay.
If he drives us to Nebi,
You are still ready to go.
So we are not ready to betray General MK. We will follow the orders from him, no matter what.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but somebody would ask, won't that turn Uganda into a dynasty?
It's turning Uganda into a dynasty. It's all about now capability, right?
Okay.
Now, if you see people saying Uganda is becoming a dynasty, the comment about him saying that a civilian cannot be president. Let me tell you something. If you see the history of this country, and right now we have a revolutionist who is the president of Uganda, and he has been there in the army, he's military. And if you look in the background, the likes of Binaisa, Lule, those were civilians. And they did not hold the country together. So the peace the NRM government has brought to us, we need to appreciate that.
Okay.
The way Muse has organized the UPDF and now handing it over to General. You see, we as Ugandans, we need to appreciate, we are sitting here in this studio because of the peace, because of the organization Muse has put in this country. And General himself is ready to take off from there.
Okay.
And you see how the army, the peace, and yesterday I think they attacked one of the buses in Sudan. And now we are not having this in our country. It's because of General. So the question of saying that we are turning the country to be a dynasty, it's all about the rightful leader. It's all about holding the country together. It's all about the peace. We club for free. We drive from Arua to Kampala. It's all safe. It's because of the good leadership. So, do we just want to destroy the good leadership like that? No, we are not ready to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Finally, as we get to summarize this half of the hour, Major General Muhoozi Kainerugaba recently came out to say that no civilian will rule Uganda after Museveni. What does that statement mean? What's the meaning of that statement, which he posted via his ex-handle?
Now, we have different, people have different narratives about like how they can come up and analyze the statement. First of all, General is from the military. So you can tell me, as a civilian, you'll be having your different thinking about what General said. Even I read Bobby Wine say this is treason, but it is not treason.
What is it then?
First of all, if you look at General's statement, looking at the military perspective, he's from the military. I think you understand that.
Yes.
Him being in the military, like this country not being ruled by civilians, it's about, if you look, let me take you back again. Look at the history of this country. Has the civilians, have they even ever hold the country together? We have never had peace.
Okay. Under civilian rule.
Under civilian rule, we have never. It has always been like like overthrowing here and there. So, if we look at the country right now, what is happening in the country?
But still, we had presidents who had military background, out of which today we continue to hear stories about them that they did this, they did that, they did so.
No.
Is it right?
Now, which president? You give me an example. Has it happened? Like
Idi Amin was from the military background.
Idi Amin was from the right. Now, has it happened? Like right now, like considering President Museveni, has it happened? Have you seen what he has done?
Okay.
So, as in yesterday, event, Tayeba said some of these things we need to leave to the military.
Okay.
We should not get involved.
That's where we are going to be leaving issues of generals to the generals, and we are going to be taking a short commercial break. I'm still with officials from Patriotic League of Uganda. We want to understand what next for them, since General Muhoozi Kainerugaba came out to announce that he won't be aspiring in 2026 elections, of course, where many people have been anticipating to have him on the ballot. We take a short commercial break. When we return back, we shall be continuing with that discussion. Stay tuned.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium Channel 259 and Channel 246 starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and Limited Passion. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
right, welcome back to the short commercial break. We are into the final half of the discussions, and I'm still with officials and promoters of the PLU in West Nile sub-region. And earlier on, I was able to ask them a number of questions, and now I want to ask how vibrant is PLU in West Nile sub-region, and how have the people of West Nile sub-region accepted the PLU movement? That's why I will be starting with the mobilizer, because it is you who has been moving on the grassroots to ask people to also support the PLU and telling them about the gospel in relation to PLU.
Yes, thank you so much.
How has the support been?
Very massive, very, very massive. You know, PLU is loved in West Nile, massively supported, and in the first place, PLU already has structures. PLU already has structures at the regional level, led by Honorable Atima Jackson, is the Member of Parliament for Central Division. And we also have other executives in which our comrade Dennis falls under in the docket of youth representative. Now, PLU, when we started the movement as MK movement, we ensured that we had structures on the ground. And these structures we have been moving around to, as we have been establishing these structures, we have been getting in touch with the community. And they have impressed, because let me tell you, no one is ready to exchange the peace that we enjoy right now for anything. Okay? So, and when you go and you say that it's General Muhoozi that is going to continue, you know, to keep the peace that we continue to enjoy, I can assure you the love that people have for General Muhoozi from Pakwach to Moyo is amazing. Okay, we have structures, we have district leadership, we have sub-county leadership, we have structures in the parishes. So we are set. And you know, when General came out and said he was not contesting, we said, why? Because now we have got this thing together. You know, the structure is set, everything is set. We knew this was a done deal, okay? But you know, time will tell, and I can assure you, if General decides that you know, he said God spoke to him in his street. Okay, if God decides to speak to him again and he says he's coming in 2026, I can assure you, victory is guaranteed.
Okay.
Yes, because by the way, the organization is only not in West Nile alone. The entire country, we have been going for events in different parts of Uganda, and the support for General Muhoozi is amazing.
Okay.
I can assure you.
That's where I now need to ask the youth coordinator. From Pakwash up to, let's say, Germany, how has the support been for PLU? Because you have been moving to all these places, asking the young people to support and embrace the PLU movement. Rate the scale out of 100 when it comes to support for PLU in West Nile sub-region.
Support for PLU in West Nile sub-region. Actually, like PLU, as we said, it's not a party, and we welcomed actually even the FDC, NOP, DP, everyone to join us. And talking along about, that's an added advantage to us. Like from Jumani, Obongi, Pakwach, everywhere, all the youths, everyone wants to associate with PLU. And that is where PLU is so special, and we want to congratulate General for that. And recently, I went for a youth cultural gala in Yumbe, and the audience I got there, it's so impressive. You will know that General really, he is on the ground. And when I talked about corruption, and I was giving examples, I'm like, General is not going to tolerate corruption, no matter what. Like the youth, because most of the times, the youth, when they want to get when they apply for jobs in some of these districts, they tend to be undermined. They tend to be undermined, and like especially the PDM. For you to get the PDM, they'll want you to give something. They'll want you to give maybe if you're getting 1 million, they want you to give like 300,000. And I told them strongly, they know that General will not allow that. Because this is corruption of the top level. And the youth, they know that they are the eyes, the ears of general on ground. So coming to PLU, mobilizing, it's a very simple and easy thing. As my brother Oria told you, the energy is really great on ground, and they were really vibrant, and everyone is ready, and we are still recruiting people to join PLU.
Okay.
And we welcome everyone to join PLU.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, still,
And let me cut you short. And yesterday I was on. I read some people were saying PLU is no longer functional.
that's actually where I was coming to.
Exactly. PLU. I want to tell everyone PLU is functional. Our offices are open at Naguru. You can go there anytime you want. You go and consult more if you want to know more. If you don't want to know more from me, if you think that I'm lying, you go to the secretariat, they tell you more about PLU. We are here, we are a civic organization, but our party is NRM.
Okay.
Yes.
So somebody was able to ask, what if General Muhoozi Kainerugaba still comes out again to say, 2026, I have had a dream that I should be on the ballot. Don't you think the pronouncement that he won't be on the ballot will be haunting and also affecting his maybe support when it comes to 2026? Don't you think that will be possible?
No, it will not affect us, because this is like, it is God speaking to General. As in my brother Oriad said,
Which God?
the God we are serving.
Almighty.
God.
Okay.
God talked to General that he should not stand in 2026, and he told him we should give our support as PLU to Mose. We are ready to do that. If God again speaks to him and he says that he should stand in 2026, we follow. I told you we will follow the orders of the General.
Okay.
Yes.
There seems to be a direct connection of NRM to PLU. How do you separate the two? And where is the difference? Because with PLU, at least we are seeing people from other parties. We have NUP members, we have FDC members, we have... NUP is not a political party. Sorry for that comparison, but we are saying there's definitely that comparison where people have been able to support PLU and NRM. Not everybody supports PLU, I believe, is from NRM. Not everybody supports NRM is sorry PLU.
Yes.
But people have been saying all the people who are leaning to PLU are actually NRM. Is that true?
Okay, PLU, as we said earlier, is a civic organization, and PLU seeks to ensure that there is peaceful transition of power in our country, Uganda. So PLU has become very attractive to so many groups of people. That's why you're seeing that PLU has members of the NUP, PLU has members of National Resistance Movement, PLU has members of FDC and the other parties. But you see, there are also people, by the way, in the National Resistance Movement who disagree with the PLU for whatever reason they have. But recently also, in one of General's tweets, he said that the PLU aligns much more with the ideologies of the NRM. NRM actually aligns much more with the ideologies of PLU than the other parties. So he suggested that if you want to contest as a member of parliament, we should contest on the what? On the National Resistance Movement ticket. So PLU and NRM are not too different, because okay, PLU is a civic organization and NRM is a party. Yes, it's a political party. So it will have no offense for members of PLU to subscribe to the National Resistance Movement, and with the guidance of our supreme leader, it is also okay, because PLU, I mean, most of the leaders that we have in PLU, they also subscribe where? To the National Resistance Movement. And our desire, by the way, as PLU is also to rebuild the National Resistance Movement, to rebuild the NRM. There are a lot of challenges there are a lot of things that we think that could have been done better in the National Resistance Movement. And I can assure you, our coming into NRM is also going to be able to address some of the issues. And that's why, by the way, some of the leaders in NRM, they look at us as a threat, you know, because these young, energetic, and vibrant young people, you know, they are coming. You know, they are coming into our party, and they are doing all these the energy and the excitement and the hope that they have for a better Uganda. And some, you know, NRM, there are so many of the leaders in NRM that are very, very corrupt. As PLU, we intend to deal with this corruption head on. And by the way, generals, the fact that generals saying that we should come to NRM, I can assure you, we are going to deal with the corruption in NRM head on. And this corruption in NRM is definitely going to come to an end.
Okay, that is what we are yet following up on. We want to see if indeed PLU will be able to fight corruption not only within the NRM, but the entire country. But we are following up on that discussion. And earlier on, I was able to ask what next for them. And still the question will be, will the support remain for PLU in West Nile? Do you think the support will stand?
The support is actually...
Because somebody was saying it is hard to separate PLU from NRM. Most of the leaders who are within the political parties who actually lean into PLU are NRM. Is it true? Given the fact that we are already seeing some crossing from whatever political party they are coming from to NRM under the influence of PLU. Should we say that is true? I can mention 2 names who have already crossed to NRM just because they had the connection to PLU.
Yes, of course we welcomed everyone. Now when they had joined PLU, it means they knew. Like we kept on saying, was there now MK next? They knew what was happening, and them joining us, it's joining NRM. Because, as I told you, you're joining a civic organization, but we have a connection to the NRM. They were aware that our leader is general. So if the leader, the boss says, let's take this direction, what do we have to do? Definitely, we follow. So, that is it. That is what I can tell you about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, I'll pose the same question to you. Do you think it is hard maybe to separate NRM from PLU, because we are now seeing people crossing from different political parties to NRM under the influence of PLU? Should we say that everybody who is leaning to maybe PLU is NRM? Should I take it that way?
Okay, you cannot say that directly, but I want to say this. Actually, NRM should be thankful to the PLU because now PLU is doing what NRM should have done to attract people to their party.
So should we say PLU is the young one of NRM? Should I take it that way?
Okay, you can take it. PLU is like the nursery bed of NRM. Okay, we pick people from we get people from the other parties, and then we bring them to the national resistance movement with the belief and thought that we can make the national resistance movement better, and we can make the national resistance movement attractive to the young people. You know, the national resistance movement stopped being attractive to the young people. Okay, but through PLU, I can assure you the number of young people that is the greatest population in our country that is flocking to the national resistance movement is unmatched.
Okay.
Okay. So national resistance movement should be very thankful to the PLU for attracting the young people, and our ideologies. We are going to also put it in the national resistance movement to continuously attract the young people and do some of the things that the national resistance movement has not been able to do.
Okay.
I can assure
you. So as we move on, we're just left about 12 minutes to wind up the discussions. Still using PLU to mobilize for NRM. Does it have that ability? If let's say maybe let's utilize PLU to mobilize for NRM, do you think it will attract the numbers, most especially amongst the youth who are the majority population of this country?
Yes.
Do you think many people will embrace NRM?
Yes, absolutely. You see, right now, NUP used to have, a chunk of support, a big support in the northern Uganda, and especially the young people. Also in the urban settings, they used to have a lot of support. But with the coming of General Mohozi, with the coming of PLU, we have been able to, I can assure you, neutralize some of the support that NUP has. Recently, their leader, when they came to, the other time when they came to Arua, they did not have the support like they used to have. You know, even recently FDC was in Arua here. You not see so many young people following them. You know, you just be seeing all the old people, you know, moving with them. You know, so PLU is doing a great job in attracting the young people and bringing them to the national resistance movement. And I can assure you, we definitely are going to keep these young people. Okay, we're going to maintain the young people in the NRM. By the time General Muhoozi, when the time is ripe for General Muhoozi to be able to take over leadership from President Museveni, I can assure you these young people will continue to remain there, and we're definitely going to maintain them in that party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, maybe your messages to the leaders of the PLU in Western Sub-region, because we have quite many. We have a whole structure. What would be your message when it comes to maybe voices of the young people? I'll start with you, and then he will also add on.
Yeah. My message to the leaders of PLU, number one, the biggest challenge of West Nile region is unity. West Nile region needs to unite in the pursuit of leadership in our country. West Nile has to unite. All our leaders at every level, members of parliament should be able to unite. Members of even the local leadership in West Nile should be able to come together in order to bring the unity, in order to bring development. Because without unity, development is hard to come by. And so it is key that our leaders need to unite. Even us mobilizers, you know, we need to mobilize in unison. Okay, we need to come as one and mobilize. And I can assure you, if West Nile is united, there is nothing which is impossible.
Okay.
All the developments that we crave for in West Nile will definitely be able to come to pass.
Okay, your message, since you're also part of the leaders, maybe your message to the other leaders, because you're part of the structure. How can you make PLU maybe stronger, or how can you weaken it in Western Sub-region? First, tell that message. Because you belong to the structure, which of course, I wanted this message to go to.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Actually, since I'm a youth council representative, I think my message, I need to point most of it to the youth because of the announcement General made. And what I want to emphasize is on let's keep the fire burning, and let's keep mobilizing on ground, and we should not lose faith, and let's trust and believe in General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and anything he tells us to do, let's follow. And the vision of the general is clear, and we know the vision, and we're going to follow wherever he goes. And the thing is, come rain or sunshine, we will be there in the promised land one day.
Okay.
And do not lose faith.
Okay.
And let people not let anyone, no one should tell you that we are non-functional. Okay. No, we are functional. Okay. We are aligned to NRM, and we appreciate what the NRM has done. We appreciate what Mose has done, but there are some weevils in NRM. Okay. The bad seeds for which we are coming for them, and we'll remove them. Okay. And we're not going to tolerate. Okay.
So, meaning you're a believer, just like the president, who said there are some people whom he called opportunists who are surrounding General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Is it true now? Should I believe I take it that way?
No.
Because he actually came out to have that appointment, maybe that message.
No, we as the PLU, we are not opportunists.
Are you an opportunist? Because let me ask you now directly.
I'm not an opportunist. He's not an opportunist. Let me tell you something. Okay. We have been, as he said, we have been moving for events. Okay. From districts to districts. We sacrifice. We use our own money. So, does that mean that we're opportunists? I transported people. It's because of the heart for PLU. So, I've never, let me tell you something. People think that we're being paid. I've never received any single coin from the general.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you that. I've never received any single coin. He has never received any single coin. We use our own. That's where we are different from these other, we're a civic organization. Okay. So, it's on record that I've told you.
Maybe you were investing with time.
I've never received any coin.
Maybe let's say you're investing with time. Come 2021, 2032 years, maybe you get the
because
fruits.
of the ideologies.
Okay.
It's because of the what? The vision
Okay.
he has for the young people.
Okay.
He has for the country. He has the country at heart.
Okay.
I sacrifice.
You're investing. So let's say you're investing.
It's not that I'm investing.
Okay, that's where. Let me ask you.
I'm investing.
Let me bring him on board now here. Should I say you were investing with time?
It's not
to expect the fruits back.
It's not an investment. It is it's the belief in the ideologies of General Muhoozi that we buy the ideas, we buy his ideologies, and we see. We are the people who wish well for our country, by the way. The rest of the people, people ask, what can the country do for us? Or what can the country do for me? But in our case, we are saying, what can I do for my country? Now, one of the things that we want to do for our country is to ensure that our country has peaceful transition of power. We want to ensure that our country is in peace. We want to ensure that our country is corruption-free. We want to ensure that. So, we are ready to put in whatever it takes to ensure that these things are achieved in our country. So it's not like investment, because if the moment that people take politics as a way of getting rich, of amassing finances, then that is where we go wrong. And as PLU, we're also going to ensure that we fight that belief. We want to ensure that the politics is a venture where you bring services to the people. Politics is a venture where you ensure that you support, the community. The community should benefit more than the politician. If the politician is bigger than the community, then it makes it difficult for us to ensure that there is balance of power. If a politician becomes bigger than the community, I can assure you that is a very, very, very difficult thing that the country can deal with. So we want to ensure that the community is empowered. The community is empowered in terms of information, in terms of knowledge, and the leader is not bigger than the community.
All right, thank you so much. Maybe your parting thoughts as you get to summarize this hour. We're just left about 3 minutes, which we have to also really allow the elders and news team to organize.
Yeah, I want to thank the management of West Nile TV for this opportunity. We want to thank you for giving the young people the opportunity to express themselves. We want to thank you for supporting PLU. We want to thank you for the work that you're doing. This is something new in West Nile, and we are so grateful. And we'll be able to support these TV stations as in any way possible that we can.
All right, thank you so much. I also do have Gary here. Maybe your parting thoughts. Any pressing issue maybe you feel you need to summarize the hour with?
The pressing issue only I have is about some people spreading the news that the PLU is no longer functional. It's really touching, and yet we still exist. We are here. It's just a tweet which came from General that we should what? General, there's nothing from General which came that which he wrote that PLU is no longer functional. He has dissolved PLU. Nothing like that. PLU is still there. Let's see, as young people, let's continue, join us, let's continue to mobilize for Mose, as General said. And yes, the time will come.
Right.
It's not if, it's when General will be the president. But I want to appreciate the management also of this TV station. We'll want to come here every day.
All right.
And
talk about PLU. That is where we are going to be stopping with discussions. Dear viewer, I want to thank you so much for keeping it locked right from the time we began until this hour of the morning. My name is Farish Majid, and today I did have guests that